Good morning. It's Sunday, December the 5th. My name is Webster Webb. I'm speaking as a citizen advocate, and I wish to talk about the COVID virus and the vaccine program that we have. When the virus started to show up as a pandemic in early 2020, most of us were saying, wouldn't it be great if we had a vaccine so that we could stop the virus? What we were familiar with was highly contagious things such as smallpox and polio, and a vaccine was introduced that would stop people, most of the people who got the vaccine, from getting the virus at all. And so the idea was, if a large enough percentage of the population, that they call herd immunity, but we like 70 to 80 or 90% of the population had the vaccine, the virus would try to spread to people who were protected from it, and therefore the virus would die down. It had no fertile ground. And so that's what we were hoping for. And surprisingly and miraculously, viruses did emerge, and the drug companies spent a lot of money trying to get them out on time, and the various health departments kind of turned a blind eye to the fact that we have no time exposure. Like, we don't know what happens after 5 years because we've never had that. But from what they could see, the vaccine was safe. And so we've been taking the vaccine. And there were people among us who were saying, well, wait a second, is it really safe, And they were right. They were not really sure what the side effects might be. But for the most part, if the speculation was right, that if enough people got this, we would kill the virus, it was worth it. And so we ended up having vaccine mandates where people would be strongly encouraged, with legal consequences for not having the vaccine. It became a little bit politically charged. But nonetheless, we're on the path of having enough people vaccinated that the virus would die. It was kind of foolish that we only worried about it in certain countries, because as we've seen with every new variation, it takes like almost no time to go from one part of the world we have nothing connected to that spreads over the entire world. So having large parts of the world's population largely unvaccinated meant the virus could spread. We wouldn't kill it until we vaccinated the world. So then something strange happened. Recently we've been seeing those places that are highly vaccinated, such as Israel and some of the states that are highly vaccinated, were suddenly getting surges of people with with the virus. And that didn't make any sense because we were protected, right? Well, it turns out that with a little bit of research, I've discovered that the vaccines we've been using are what they're called leaky vaccines. They're vaccines in the sense that they protect you from the consequences of the virus, and to some extent they resist being able to spread from person to person, but they don't prevent it. And so the virus still spreads among those who are vaccinated, even though they're vaccinated, and goes from person to person, which is just fine as long as the vaccine is effective against the consequences of catching the virus. But as we've seen, the virus mutates, and we've called each of these mutations a variant. Right now there's Omicron variant, and we're not sure what it can do. The real worry is, of course, is it deadly? But it does spread, and it spreads quickly, even among the vaccinated. And so when you look a little deeper, a lot of the scientists are pointing out that there is a serious problem in trying to use a leaky vaccine against a pandemic. Because the problem is that if the entire population, or most of the population, gets the vaccine, the virus will still spread among them, and will actually have as a background, it's being tested against our best defense in each and every person who's got the vaccine. And a variant will emerge, because the thing keeps twisting and turning, that will be not only easy to spread, but more deadly. And we'll have no protection, because it's already worked against our vaccinated people unless we have yet another vaccine. So this is a really big concern. I don't really know what to make of what we should do. It doesn't look all that promising, but I thought that shedding some light on the facts would help take the temperature down as far as people's conflicts about whether we should be vaccinated or not.